The film opens by introducing the happily married couple Veronica and Harry Rawlings, shown alongside a heist taking place. Linda and Carlos Pirelli own a shop and have 2 children, Xavi and Gracie, though it appears that Linda bears the heavier workload. Alice Gunner is abused by her husband Floric, though he attempts to make it up by being sweet and sincere afterwards. Jimmy Nunn kisses his wife Amanda goodbye. The 4 men are seen being pursued by police after completing their heist. They make it to their safe house as a whole squad of cops follow them there. Just as the thieves are attempting to exit, the cops shoot at their car until the thieves' van explodes, killing all 4 men. We then see Veronica waking up alone. In Chicago, Jack Mulligan is running for the alderman position of the 18th Ward. His father Tom is a former political victor who hopes his son will follow in his footsteps. Running against Jack is Jamal Manning. Jack visits Jamal's campaign office, which is in a church, to essentially butt heads. Tom firmly demands that Jack win and to not be the first in their family to lose to a black man. The women have to bury their husbands. Veronica attends Harry's funeral, where his remains are laid to rest beside their late son Marcus. Jack is in attendance, and he tells Veronica that he knew Harry very well, so he offers his services to her if she needs him. Jamal and his brother Jadam also watch the service from afar. Amanda and Alice attend the funerals of their respective husbands. Linda is at home and tries to console Carlos's mother Lita, but she blames Linda for what happened to Carlos because she claims that he got into that life to support her and the kids, and now his blood is on Linda's hands. Veronica is visited by Jamal that evening. He tells Veronica that Harry stole $2 million from him, which is money he needs to fund his campaign. Jamal forcefully holds Veronica's small dog Olivia by the collar to prove he's not messing around. He orders Veronica to come up with the money within 2 weeks. Linda goes to her shop to find men repossessing everything inside. When she demands an explanation, she's told that Carlos was the one who handled the lease on the store, and because he was down on payments, the store no longer belongs to Linda. Meanwhile, Alice's mother Agnieszka suggests that she support herself by becoming an escort. When Alice says she won't do it, Agnieszka smacks her. Veronica visits someone over lewd photos involving a man having sex with a younger woman, clearly intended to blackmail him. She then goes to a bowling alley to meet a man named Bobby Welsh, Kevin J. O'Connor, who hands her a notebook left by Harry that details all of his heist activities. Veronica learns that Harry's next heist involved stealing $5 million. At a nearby gymnasium, Jadam's guys find 2 young men rapping and bring them to Jadam. They were responsible for guarding Jamal's money that was stolen. Jadam orders them to rap again before he executes them. Jack is at a rally for an organization of his called Minority Women of Work, in which he sees that women of color can get their businesses off the ground. He is pressed by one reporter over another less ethical practice of his, and he walks away with his aide Siobhan. As they are being driven away, Jack complains to Siobhan about his insecurities running against Jamal and the pressure being faced by his father, but Siobhan simply tells him to suck it up. Veronica contacts the other 3 widows and arranges to meet them at a spa. Linda and Alice show, but Amanda doesn't. Veronica informs the other 2 about the situation regarding Jamal and how Harry left behind plans for the next heist. Although hesitant, Linda and Alice reluctantly agree to join when Veronica emphasizes how much of a threat the Mannings will be to them and their families. Jamal visits a church to speak to Reverend Wheeler for an endorsement, though he appears to already be siding with the Mulligans. Jadam also visits Bobby at the bowling alley to attack and torture him for information regarding Harry's notebook, which he says he gave to Veronica. He later calls Veronica to ask if she sold it, and she lies and says she did. At a nearby hair salon, Belle watches as her boss Brichel has to give up money to a large man sent by his boss. Belle presses Brichel for doing so, but she explains that she has to give up a cut of her earnings to the ones who allow her to keep her business afloat, namely Jack Mulligan. After work, Belle returns home to her mother Suzette and daughter Bailey, only to get a call about another job, prompting her to leave immediately and rapidly run to catch the bus. She arrives at Linda's home to babysit her children. Linda goes to join Veronica and Alice at their husband's old hideout, where Veronica gives them money to get guns and a getaway van. She also gives them the blueprints for the heist. Alice goes to an auction to get a van and ends up paying more money than it's worth. To make things more difficult, Alice tells Veronica she can't drive, so Veronica plans to recruit Harry's old driver Bash. Alice then goes to get guns and has a woman help her buy guns since she doesn't have the proper documents to purchase firearms. At the same time, Linda attempts to figure out the blueprints to the heist, but she can't make out the word on the paper. She visits a man whose house she believes to be the mark by posing as someone working for a company that owns the house, but she slips up when she mentions the man's wife, whom he says has been dead for 4 months. Linda breaks down when she mentions her dead husband. She and the man start kissing before Linda realizes it's wrong and she leaves. Linda later joins Alice as the two go to a shooting range to practice. Alice does well, but Linda turns out to be a lousy shot. Alice joins the escort site and starts seeing a man named David. He turns out to be a real estate executive and spots the blueprints in Alice's room, which he identifies as being part of the Mulligan home. Veronica finally meets with Amanda in a diner. She mentions not being able to meet with Veronica previously due to taking care of her newborn baby. Because of this, Veronica chooses not to mention anything involving the heist. 1 week before the heist is to take place, the Mannings visit Bash and murder him. Veronica finds out and tells the ladies that they need a new driver. Linda notices how fast Belle is, so she invites her to join the heist. Despite Veronica's initial reservations, she agrees to let Belle join due to her take-no-shit attitude. Veronica visits Jack to ask for help with Jamal, though he tells her there's nothing he can do, and that he learned from his father and Harry that you reap what you sow. While Veronica talks to Jack, the other ladies scope out the outside area to get a view of the external security. They also spend time at the hideout practicing how they will move the money around and how fast they need to move. Veronica goes to Amanda's apartment with Olivia to talk to her, but she is held up by her baby. Olivia then goes to a nearby closet and starts barking. Veronica looks over on the table and sees a flask, which looks just like the one that belonged to Harry. Veronica walks over to the door, wanting to open it and not have what she's thinking confirmed, but she grabs Olivia and leaves before Amanda comes back out. Amanda goes to the closet and speaks to the man inside, and it's Harry. Veronica drives away feeling overwhelmed. A flashback then shows how Harry set up his guys with a decoy in the driver's seat, and he fired 2 shots to get the police to fire at the van just before he set off explosives to obliterate his men. Next we see Harry on a boat with Jack, as they have been working together, and Jack had ordered Harry to steal from Jamal. Another flashback shows how strained things got between Veronica and Harry just before the last heist took place. We then see back to 2008 when Marcus was driving and did an illegal U-turn to go back home and deliver something to Harry. He was pulled over by a cop and almost quickly shot to death when Marcus failed to show his hands. This broke Harry and left him desperate. Tom meets with Jack over Jack firing the campaign manager that's been with their family for 30 years. Tom curses Jack out and orders him to have Siobhan rehire the man, but Jack tells him that he can't wait for the day that he doesn't have to talk to him anymore since Tom won't be there. Just before the heist takes place, Veronica finds Ken, the CEO of the Mulligan Security Company, and the man in the lewd photos she acquired earlier. They are of him with his niece. With her putting him in a corner, Ken gives Veronica the codes to the Mulligan safe. The ladies then gather for the heist later that evening. Belle distracts the security guards outside by firing flares into nearby cars. Veronica, Linda, and Alice get inside with masks and devices that disguise their voices. They make it to the safe and take all of the money, but just as they head out, Tom emerges from his room with his gun and orders the women to drop theirs. He unmasks Veronica and shoots Alice in the shoulder, wounding her, but Linda shoots and kills Tom. The ladies run out of the house and head to the van, only to find Belle held at gunpoint by Jadam, who was sent by Jamal to take all the money. Jadam hijacks the van, but the ladies give chase and ram the back of the van, causing Jadam to crash and die. Linda then takes Alice to the hospital to get treated for her wound. Veronica goes back to the hideout and finds Harry there. She breaks down, angry over his betrayal. He attempts to justify what he did as him having to look out for himself and his new family, Amanda and their baby. Harry turns to kill Veronica, but she shoots him dead first with the gun that Linda used to kill Tom. Veronica leaves the gun in Harry's hand and leaves with the money. Later on, it's heard that Jack won the election by way of sympathy votes for Tom's death. Breachell then goes into her salon and finds a bag of money left behind by Belle. She is outside with Bailey as they drive off to start a new life together. Alice is now planning to start her own business, while Linda is able to buy back the shop with her kids. In the final scene, Alice goes to a diner to meet a friend, and she sees Veronica sitting at a nearby table. A man then enters and sits with Veronica. She gives him a large sum of her share of the money to the man so that he can help build a library, and she requests that it be named after Marcus. Afterwards, Veronica follows Alice outside and greets her warmly.